What's going to be for dinner tonight? Well, I am going to make sort of a quick halfway homemade, halfway store-bought ingredients, whatever. Broccoli, chicken, cheesy Alfredo. And so I've got myself a skillet here, and I am going to heat up a few tablespoons of oil. Don't want to be shy. This is olive oil, just plain old olive oil, not even extra virgin. That ought to be good enough. And over here I have some defrosted boneless skinless chicken breasts that I have cut up into bite-sized pieces. It's probably about 4 small. They were really tiny breasts. Anyway, got my oil on the fire here, and I'm going to let that heat up. And while that's heating up, I have got some fresh peeled, store-bought bagged garlic cloves, and I'm going to smash up a few of those, and maybe even chop them a little bit. And those are going to go in here in this oil. All right, there's our oil. Is heated up pretty nicely. Here's our garlic. Hard to do this one-handed. There we go. Have to wash that cutting board later. It smells amazing. And we're going to let this garlic do its thing for just about 10-15 seconds. Not long. Just want to sort of roast it a little bit. And my oil is pretty hot. Already you can see some of the garlic turning brown. That's what we want. We don't want to burn it. So now I'm going to dump in my chicken breast. Again, that was really hot oil. And we will find me a stirring utensil. There we go. So we're basically going to cook this chicken down until it's done, until it starts to turn golden brown. And while that is going, in the meantime, I need to get my pasta ready. And so I have some linguine over here. I'm going to find my big pot and get that on to boil. Now when this chicken is done, starts to turn brown on the edges, and most of the water is cooked off, I will usually add a little bit more oil. Sometimes you don't have to, but the chicken absorbs some of it. And then I will add in my mushrooms, my fresh mushrooms. These are already sliced, and I'll wash them, rinse them off. But fresh mushrooms are going there. And in the meantime, while the chicken is cooking, I have got my pot of water on, waiting to boil for the linguine. Now I've also got some fresh or frozen broccoli. I've actually got 2 bags of this. I just got one sitting over here on the counter, and I'm going to probably here in a minute I'm going to pop that into the microwave and go ahead and cook it according to its directions. Alright, my chicken's been cooking. It's been cooking for about 10 minutes now, so it's definitely ready. Most of the water's cooked off of it. We just got oil left. And so I've got my mushrooms nice and washed. And they're going to go right in there. And believe me, that might seem like a lot of mushrooms. But if you know mushrooms, you know they're going to cook down to about 1/4 of that amount. And we'll keep that burner on about medium high. And we'll stir these mushrooms in. It won't take them long, maybe anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes for them to cook down. You cook them down to your liking. If you want them, you know, they'll cook down to little brown wisps almost down to nothing. If that's the way you like it, go right ahead. Oh, the smell coming off of this is great. Anyway, while that's doing, I am going to, my water is ready, so I'm going to break up my linguine and drop some in there. As you can see, there are no measurements in anything that I do. This was about, I think it was about 1/3 of a box of this linguine, so 5 ounces, 6 ounces, something like that. About halfway through cooking our mushrooms. Again, in with the chicken here. And you may want to add, I don't know, 3 or 4 teaspoons of salt. I generally try not to season stuff when I'm cooking it, if I can help it, because, you know, everybody likes their own amount of salt and pepper and stuff like that, but probably wouldn't be a bad idea to throw some salt in here. Definitely would help pull the moisture out of those mushrooms. Guess I should look and see how long that linguine takes. Probably around 10 minutes. 10 to 11 minutes, or until it's done to your taste al dente. That's actually been about 11 or 12 minutes, and our mushrooms are finally done. Took a little longer than I was expecting it to, but now I am going to take my store-bought Alfredo sauce. I actually have 2 different kind of sauce. I have creamy Alfredo, or creamy mozzarella, and classic Alfredo, and these are both pretty much the same damn thing. If I had 2 jars of the classic Alfredo, I would have used it, but I don't, and I need 2 jars of something, so we're going to mix the 2. It'll be good in the end. So both jars dumped right in there, and I was right. The mozzarella flavor tastes exactly like the Alfredo, just a little less strong on the garlic flavor, so that's what I figured. And if you like a little less sauce, you could just use 1 jar. And it depends on the amount of ingredients you're doing. People always, when I do these videos, I always get people that say, "You never give us amounts, measurements." Well, it's my firm belief that the best kind of cooking, you don't use, it doesn't come from a recipe. It comes from up in your head, comes with love. You cook with love, you cook with happiness, cook with good intentions, and it's going to come out good, and it always does. So I'll let this, I'll turn the burner down to about medium, and I'll let this sort of simmer for about 5 minutes. You're really just heating up the sauce at this point. And waiting on the linguine. My broccoli is done. It's been steamed. And at some point, all of this, the linguine the sauce here with the mushrooms and the chicken and the broccoli drained will go into a big pot and get tossed all together. And Bob's your uncle. You're ready to chow down after that. Now obviously you're going to drain your noodles before you toss all that together. Found myself a big pot to put the pasta, well, to put everything in. I drained the pasta and put that in. Now I'm going to drain the broccoli because that'll have a lot of juice in it from steaming. And that'll go in, and then the sauce and chicken and mushrooms will go in on top, and then I will toss it, give it a quick toss, and oh, it's going to be good. Broccoli's in there. See if I can pour this sauce in here without making a mess with one hand. And if you guys could smell that right now. So now I'm just going to give it a toss. And I would have used a little bit more pasta, even though I try and not have so much starch. But that was all the pasta I had. So actually I think the ratio of pasta to everything else is going to be pretty good. You could serve this with some store-bought garlic bread, good old Texas toast, garlic toast. You can find it in your freezer section. Oh, it's going to be good. And this is ready to eat. Now you could add some Parmesan cheese to it while it's still hot before serving it, but I just prefer to let everyone, add their own Parmesan to their own plate. But it is extremely, extremely good. And not really all that difficult to make. Certainly easier than making homemade Alfredo. Good stuff. And of course you don't have to add the mushrooms. We just love mushrooms. Good stuff. Oh, looky there.